Hello, one and all. That was a different intro. Welcome to TCG Stores. This is Patrick here, and I got a little bit of a request for my Volcanic deck profile. So before you freeze frame on this picture here, I just wanted to go ahead and explain why each of these cards have been chosen. I don't usually do side decks. Side decks are more of, in my opinion, preference card or what's going on in the format, so it changes constantly. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you my main deck and explain to you why I chose each card. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with Royal Firestorm Guards. This is like a pot of avarice for the deck. Recycles 4 Pyro-type monsters into the deck, and you draw 2 cards. Plain and simple, super good card, 1700 attack. Doesn't get much better. It is a super good card for the deck. So you got to play 3. It's almost essential. Volcanic Scattershot, basically in combination with the new Tri-Blaze effect, Tri-Blaze Accelerator effect, it is just super good. It does burn damage. It clears your opponent's monster field. So it's a really good card to have, and you can just recycle it over and over again with Royal Firestorm Guards, so it's a super good combination. Volcanic Shell for some of the trap cards that we have in this deck. I'll get to those in just a second. And it thins out the deck as well to keep you kind of from drawing it, so it's good in that aspect. Volcanic Rocket, we play 3 of these. Searches out your Blaze Accelerator cards, thinning out the deck, giving you more support. It's a 1900 attack monster. It can be recycled by Royal Firestorm Guards. Obviously, you want to play 3 of them because searching is good in a deck. Now, most people wouldn't play this card, Volcanic Doomfire. I think it's amazing because it gets you out of tough situations, and it gets over some cards. Unfortunately, it wouldn't get over, like Apocalypse Towers. But as for my side deck, I want to kind of change it up. But we'll get to that in a second. But Volcanic Doomfire, in my opinion, super good card, and it kind of just basically trolls your opponent at that point. But yeah, it's fairly easy to get out, especially with the new support, and I like it. So I play 2. You can play 1 if you want, or more if you think it's that good of a card. But I think 2 is a good number for this card, and I rarely ever find myself to draw it and not need it, or in that desperate of a situation, because this deck is pretty consistent. It's pretty darn good. I actually, like I said in my other video I did big clip ports with it, so that made me extremely happy. So let's go ahead and go to Spirit of the Flames, basically like an Aqua Spirit for Pyro, Fire type monsters. Super good, gets a 300 attack bonus during your battle phase only, not your opponent's battle phase, but other than that it's got 1700 attack, still pretty decent. Quick Xyz plays go on with this, and banishing monsters isn't really that big of a deal in this deck. Unless you're hardcore trying to recycle. The only monsters you would really want to banish is probably Royal Firestorm Guards, or not Rocket, but Doomfire, since you can't really bring him back, or another Spirit of the Flames. Again, Blaster, same concept, just a really high attack beater. It can be special summoned almost at any point as long as you got 2 fire types in the graveyard. Super good card. Rogeki, no reason not to play this. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This is just good effect. Triple Tri-Blaze Accelerator. Scattershot gets his effect based off of being sent to the graveyard with this, because if he gets sent to the graveyard by other effects, you can just send 2 Volcanic Scattershots from your deck and then burn your opponent for 500 for each you send to the graveyard, which is still a decent effect. I mean, it does do 1500 burn damage, but you don't get that secondary effect to where you destroy your opponent's front court, so just keep that in mind. So Triple Blaze Accelerator, Tri-Blaze Accelerator. I run 1 for Volcanic Doomfire, and if this card isn't really necessary, again, I just play it, 1 of it, because I rarely find myself needing it, and it's usually for Volcanic Doomfire, because the other card I usually don't want to get rid of. Triple Pot Duality. This deck doesn't do much special summoning, but when it does, you rarely ever need to use Pot of Duality. But it's a good card. It definitely searches stuff out. You can play 2 if you want. I run 3 because I think it does get some very good use out of this deck. So triple MST, pendulums are a thing. There's Vanity's Emptiness, things like that. So Mystical Space Typhoon, almost kind of a necessity in this deck, and plus it really does help. So I play triple MST. This card is super amazing. Blaze Accelerator Magazine. If you don't know what this card does, basically, during either player's main phase, you can send 1 Volcanic card from your hand, to draw 1 card. and it'll get its effect, like Scattershot will get its effect. Volcanic Shell, unfortunately, does not have an effect like that. He just, when he's in the graveyard, you can search out another one. But and then when this card is in your graveyard, you can send one Volcanic card from your deck to the graveyard, so you can get Scattershot's effect again. Again, this card is super duper OP. This is what makes this deck super consistent. This is not the only reason. Like, there's a bunch of cards in here, but this card just made it like that much better. It put it on the level of maybe not a top tier deck, but I feel like I'm doing really good with it, especially with this deck build. I feel like it's not like an OTK based deck, but it's like a control based deck. You gain so much advantage, and you recycle your cards really well in this deck. I feel like this is a really good card to have in the deck. Triple Phoenix Wing Windblast. This card is really good, especially with Volcanic Shell. You can just discard it and then search out another one. You don't really want to use it with Scattershot because, like I said, you'll only be able to use this effect to send the other two to the graveyard unless you ever have no other option, or you just want to discard another card. But yeah, Triple Phoenix Wing Windblast. Double Karma Cut. This card I feel like running 2 of is a good number because of the simple fact that, A, if you're going to build this deck in real life, it's slightly expensive because of Burning Abyss. It got that way. But in my opinion, this card is just so much better because your opponent just draws in the same card, and who knows if they might have needed that again or not. It's just, I think it's a better card, but it's still a really good card, especially if you have cards that can't be destroyed, like Winda. And this is definitely a good card to have, so I play 2 of those. And then obviously Compulse, Bottomless, Solemn, you gotta have these 3. It's almost a necessity in the game now because of the simple fact that, again, Pendulums are a thing, so Bottomless, returning things to the hand if they can't be destroyed, and Solemn, preventing a summon in general. Okay, so now we move on to the extra deck. Before I start with the extra deck, I just wanted to say that I did want to add level 8s in there because of Blaster and Doomfire to build advantage. Level 8s that I would probably, off the top of my head, put in would probably be Hieratic Sundragon, because he does send things to the graveyard, and I still think that's a good effect to have in this deck, but that's just one. I mean, I'm sure there's more that you guys can put in to make the deck super duper good. But anyway, excuse me. Let's continue. So we have Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. I think this is a good card. I've said it over and over again. Basically just a powerhouse of a card, so... I don't know how to say his name. Karin Gorgon, Anti-Luminescent Knight, excuse me. This card, basically, any card that just targets one card in the field, and you can switch the target. Not a bad card. It's a card to bring out just if you need to bring out a card. Ragna Zero, mainly for clipboards, but Ragna Zero is a good card anyway, so... Number 50, Black Shipricorn. I like this card. Does burn damage, and this deck already does burn damage as it is, so it helps. 101 for obvious reasons, Castel for obvious reasons, Diamond Direwolf, you know, pop aspect. Heartland Draco, obviously you have the Tri-Blaze Accelerators, so it's still a pretty good card. Exciton Knight, obvious reasons. Lavalva Chain, mainly to send Shelter Graveyard or Blaster, or to top deck Scattershot or Firestorm Guards or whatever that you need. More recycle power from Daigusto Emerald, obviously easy for that. Abyss Dweller, graveyard effects are a huge thing still in this game, so Abyss Dweller is still an excellent card to have in the deck. Again, burn damage is a thing in this deck, so Gaga Cowboy, burn for that 800 might make the difference between game and no game. So, yeah. Number 80, Rhapsody and Berserk, I still think this is an awesome card, because it banishes things in the graveyard up to twice per turn, and it can be equipped to an Xyz. Now, not necessarily the second thing that I just said would be your main thing that you want to do, but banishing cards in the graveyard isn't bad either. You know, that's what I mainly use it for, but if you get the chance to equip it to an Xyz monster, especially Heartland Draco, it's a really good card. So, again, feel free to change up this extra deck with some level or rank 8s. I can't speak. It would probably suit you better than some of the cards that I put in here, but this is how I feel the deck is good, a good kind of format profile for the deck. Let me know if you have any suggestions, if you guys would change something or what you guys would put in. I will definitely hear out your argument and probably switch it, because I'm very fickle with these kinds of deck profiles, especially since I kind of just threw this one together and it actually worked and I was really happy with it. So yeah, that's my deck profile for the new Volcanic support and Volcanics in general. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos here at TCG Source. And our Facebook page is now up, so be sure to give us a like on Facebook, please. We actually really need that right now because not many people have been doing that. Not forcing you, I'm not going to tie you down to a chair or nothing, but please do give us a like on Facebook. It really helps us out. And if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, please watch more of our Pokemon videos because that helps us out, again, a lot. And we're trying to, you know, get a bigger fan base. It'd be nice to have that. So thank you guys, everybody, again, so much for watching. And you guys, stay lucky. Bye-bye.
You got me. 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 You got